Hey folks, afternoon and welcome to another video. Full of the flu, but I want to get this video out and I want to keep it short and concise. This one is going to be the February 27th dev stream. As always, if you enjoy the effort and work I put in, you can subscribe on Twitch TV, you can Twitch Prime for free, you can use the links in the description to support me in a free way. If you want to go a step further, you can support the content goal. There's 6 days left. So if you've enjoyed the previous month's content and you think it was worth supporting, you can chip in anything. That would obviously be massively appreciated. Now that these sort of advertisements and the begging bowl has been put away, let's get on with the video. Let's see what the devs have got in store for us. Let's see how Gears of War is. See if this is any good.
But when it first came
Yeah,
out,
like
I've been playing.
I know my excuse every week, by the way. So like, no one's gonna judge you for it. Every week I'm like, oh, I haven't warmed up today. Like, oh no, oh my doings. We'll also talk about the latest news and what's going on in the world of Gears, what things are in development, and keep you all updated. So I think first things first, whilst we're getting the lobby started.
So again, just to recap, this guy I think works for Latin American Gears. If I've understood that correctly, he keeps everyone's opinions from that community and he collects them all and then hands them over to TC. And he's coming on today to explain, I guess, a little bit about the community. I imagine partly the reason he's coming on is because there's a tournament in Mexico. And as always, we're going to have some feedback from the game in general, what's been planned, etc., etc.
Update 4.1.1 happened today.
Yes.
So we had a couple of key fixes in there. So for those of you who don't know, or maybe you missed kind of the initial post, the Operation 2 date was pushed back. Operation 3 date was pushed back in order to allow us more time to make sure it's got more of this kind of stuff you guys are asking for us to improve. Also to make sure it's got a high level of polish, and there's some super exciting stuff in there that I can't wait to talk about, but also to give us the opportunity to do these hot fixes. We did the ranked kind of server-side stuff. We've had 2 mini TUs. We've got another one coming up in about a week and a half. And what we're trying to do is address the issues that matter most to you. So like the PvE AI one is one, the flashbang perma effect was in today.
We received a lot of feedback on the flashbang.
Yeah,
I'm really glad the fix is out.
Yeah, and the flashbang hit markers are in our next hotfix, pending QA sign-off. Is Versus and Horde map creation going to be, and when approximately we'll be seeing it? Will there be a verification system so maps can get into ranked rotation? Good map creation will allow us to players to maximize content. We agree. It's not the biggest focus for the team right now. Map Builder takes a lot of development to bring to Versus. We may be doing stuff on our end with it, but we've kind of had to put it backwards to focus on some really critical stuff. I think it's fair to say that like Tour of Duty is top of mind, is something that people really want to see improved. The way we're doing supply is another one, and what you get from supply. The general experience of ranks and our post-match flow and all that sort of stuff.
Matchmaking and everything.
Matchmaking, like there's a lot of things that basically what we've decided to do is deprioritize some stuff that we do want to get to in order to deliver the stuff that matters the most.
Initially, I guess people were going to say, well, we want the map builder to build maps to give us content that we can play to help us enjoy the game. That makes complete sense, but I've been playing solo queue this past week and a bit. Teams just are not balanced correctly at all, not even remotely closely. Now, I understand you can't have a perfect matchmaking system with a small player base. You can't make bronze people only play bronzes, masters only play masters, not be able to 5-stack, not be able to queue with one rank higher or below for matchmaking quality like every other elo system does. This is just kind of a jumble or rumble pit of players, and then you fight it out and whoever wins gets the... That can be very frustrating because a lot of the time you end up on a team that is just vastly better, or you play against a team that's vastly worse. Sorting out the matchmaking, sorting out the ranked point system, sorting out all the little things does make a big difference. Path of Exile has this issue where it constantly adds content and content and content, but they never really stop and do a quality of life patch, like to make the game just sort of smooth out all the edges and make it feel a bit better. I think Gears 5 definitely needs that, and it's good that they're delaying stuff. Now, obviously, yeah, ideally they do all this, and in the background they make the map maker. You know, if they have to delay the map maker to get the actual core game better, then that's what I would choose personally. Alright, sorry to interject inside this video, but I've just finished watching the 1.5 hour plus developer blog, and a lot of the questions, if not all, were either silly, nonsensical, or just answered beforehand. There was a lot of, can we get an illumination on the Cyclops eye? You're useless devs, can you stop designing Gears 5 and move on to Gears 6? Which is a bit of a paradox, because if they were that useless at Gears 5, why would you want them designing Gears 6? There was questions about Horde character XP. There's going to be a Horde double XP weekend in the future to make up for the fact that Escape players are getting more XP. There are some definitely guaranteed maps and characters coming in Operation 3 that was told to us. But apart from that, all of the small questions such as aim assist, flashbangs, you know, can we get different maps? Can we get new characters? Will the tour be different? Will there be less banners? Will there be more banners? All that type of questioning and answering that I've spoke about in the last blog is already covered by me and them. And I saw no reason basically to repeat myself and repeat their answers when they've already been covered. If we look and you go over to this one, if you're really interested in all of the small finicky questions, I worked really hard on this video. This is called the Dev Stream Cap Recap 14. There's a timer along the top that shows how long the answer is, so you can skim through and you can see this blue timer filling up, and all of the small finicky questions were asked and answered and covered really well. This developer blog that I've just watched was not really that interesting. I'm not saying they didn't answer the questions well, they were just repeat questions, and I didn't want to waste your time. We're wasting your time right now by talking, but I feel like my channel is long form, and I feel like I've got a slightly different audience, which I really appreciate, that do sit and listen and are a bit more adult and in their approach, and I like it, so I'm going to keep doing it. So anyway, let's get on to it. February 27th, 2020 on the What's Up. Let's skim through this one. 4.11 was released. There is a free boost weekend, a double character XP weekend, earnable content change, and arcade blitz double trouble, plus a second chance to earn that punt execution. So, as we mentioned on Monday, Title 4.1.1 has moved through cert, hopefully towards a release this week. We're happy to confirm it made it through, and we're deploying the hotfix right this second. That's why yesterday my game said it was out of date, because this hotfix happened. So in the gameplay there's going to be additional fixes for AI enemies finishing down players too quickly, fix an issue that could cause the flashbang to remain on screen basically for the whole duration when you died, the Horde resource tap, the thing you stand in, that's been halved from 10 to 5 to make it more fun. And they've fixed some map builder issues. On the PC, we fixed an issue that caused the Nasher shot to sometimes hit slightly left after a weapon switch, which might interest me, and they've fixed the crashing. Now, I have seen reports that the crashes are still happening, but they're a lot better. This is disappointing because obviously Gears 4 I wasn't able to play because it crashed permanently. Luckily, I've had no crashes on Gears 5. But I know people are, so hopefully those crashes fix it for you. If not, I guess you should tweet at them with the picture of the crash and footage of how it happened. The free boost is going to be, again, very simple, just extra character XP and XP in Escape, sorry. So you'll get 4 times the usual rate. So fast leveling until Monday, so if you're looking to level up your Escape characters, I would say play this weekend if you can. With today's title update, we've made an additional change to our Escape leaderboards. Now, I've listened to this on the developer blog. Basically what they're saying is people are getting really good at Escape and people are getting all of the cards, and as a result all of the people with all of the cards are getting really fast times. So to get into that top 1% is way more difficult than they previously imagined, and the top 1% and the rewards were basically meant to be you completed it on Master, have a set of skins type of thing, whereas now it's becoming get a speedrun time to get the skins. So instead of it being the top 1%, they've made it the top 5% to make it a bit more reasonable, which I think's fair enough. This week in Gears, we mistakenly called out the punt execution being earnable through the big game medal. It's actually the spike execution, sorry about that. Our mistake is your gain though, because we're adding the punt execution as a login reward during our free boost weekend. So just fire up Gears 5, head into the main menu to pick it up, and you'll also still be able to earn that spike execution through the big game medal. So that was it, a little short and sweet what's up. So signing off, it's short and sweet this week. Oh, they actually said that. We continue to work on polishing up Op 3 and delivering future improvements. Next week, we're aiming to have news on TU 4.2, as well as a little Horde teaser we dropped earlier. So, basically, that's that. We're now going to roll the clip of me talking about the dev blog, and then after the speech is ended, the video's going to end. I want to thank you all for watching. Hopefully, you enjoy it. If you do want to support, it means the world, because there's no other support available to me at the moment. So basically the content goal is your sort of way of supporting me through the Twitch primes, the likes, the comments, all that stuff. That is what enables me to do this as basically as well as I do, or for as long as I do. So if you do enjoy the content and want to see it carrying on, and you do have the ability to support me, that would be obviously amazing. To twitch.tv/GGZII and hit the follow button, because I'm always playing ranked on that, and sometimes people pop in and they say, oh, I didn't know you were playing ranked, and I'm like, yeah, I play Gears 5 ranked all the time on stream. So yeah, if you didn't know that. Also, I'm about 20 subscribers off 10,000, so that would be pretty sweet. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling and taking up your time. Let's get into the speech / end of the dev blog. And pro players trying to create game modes that are like Rainbow Six Siege on Gears 5. And I've seen a lot of people using that as an example of a great game and great developers. But Rainbow Six Siege, when it first launched, was not the massive esports success it is right now. When it first launched, it had a ton of issues and it was a big flop. I'm not saying that a game should release in an unfinished state and we should have to sit here and help the development process. No, I'm just saying there's just zero point abusing the developers on Twitter. Literally, the only advice I can say is give some decent feedback. They will, I know it's a meme, pass it on to the team and look at it. The game is going to get more maps. Hopefully the ranking system improves. There are road maps that are making the game more detailed and easier to balance. Node was mentioning how when they move to the new system, I can't remember the technical term he used, that there will be things like you can alter the speed of the roll from backwards to forwards to left and right. This means that maybe you make the front roll slower to stop, quote, noob rolling into people, but the side roll as an aggressive tool is a bit faster. There are these things that are going to help the health of the game, or they're building systems for the longevity of the game. Sometimes things get put on the back burner. I'd love aim assist to be removed from the game, because in ranked play, or the magnetism to be specific, the adhesion to be specific, I would like that to be removed from ranked play, because I think it would make the game so much better. Sometimes I miss and kill people and that's just not a fun experience, and sometimes Lancer bullets lock onto me, and when the gun's already strong, it's borderline impossible to escape because they seemingly can't miss. So, as I understand when people say shotgun battles can't exist because the rifle's too strong, but it's a process, isn't it? Maybe if we reduced the aim adhesion, then all of a sudden people wouldn't be taking as many bullets, there'd be more breathing room. Maybe if we lowered the amount of players in the game or changed the way the maps are designed to be less conducive to crossing, maybe things improve, right? But today, I'm just going to post what the developers say, and I'm only going to come in with a bit of commentary if I really need to, because I feel like a broken record. There's no point abusing the devs on Twitter or the forums or anything. It doesn't help anybody. There are loads of little finicky things, and this isn't the first time a game's been broken, and you've got to just have a little bit of common sense. If the game is so broken that ranked isn't working, and there are major game crashing bugs, that when you go into Twitch chat and you say, is there a release date for a Cyclops Illuminated Eye? Now, when that gets ignored, that doesn't mean that the devs are just thinking, you know, F you, I'm not listening to you, your feedback is useless. It just means that it's such a low priority that their core focus is on the game. Node Zero came into my Twitch chat and he said, I understand a load of frustrations. We had a good chat, and he said, there's obviously nothing I can say. He said, but I'd be really interested to look on your feedback for Operation 3. I hope to see you in Operation 3. And when a developer takes his time out to come into a stream, a low 5 view count stream, and say to me, yo, like, I appreciate your feedback. I want to see your feedback in Gears 5 Operation 3 to see what we're doing. We're trying a lot of interesting things that I think you'll like. You know, stick with it. I am going to stick with it. Does that make me a TC shill? No. Does it make me, you know, a backtracker? Not really. I'm just seeing the game evolve. I think the game has got fundamentally better since launch. There's no melee lunge. There's no melee lock-on, really. The melee kick thing's gone. The long duration of the flashbang has gone. The rifle power has been reduced quite a lot since launch. It's still feeling too strong, but it's been reduced a lot. The gib range is reduced a lot. The strafe speed has gone up. The walking speed has gone up. The idle slow from left to right has gone. We can now have better movement. The shotgun is feeling a lot better. It's not perfect, but we've had 3 iterations. And I feel like 4.11 and the current one, a little mixture in between those two, and it'd be perfect. But these things, they are a process. They do the patch. They take the feedback on board. They do the patch. They create the patch. They cert the patch. The patch gets put online. We download it. We play it for like a week. Then we give the feedback. Then they take it on board. And then they do another iteration of the patch. And then it gets put out. And this is how games work. You know, characters in League of Legends come out. They're overpowered. Then they get underpowered. Then they get balanced. Then they get overpowered again. Then they get rebalanced. And then the map might change, the layout of the maps and stuff might change. Then all of a sudden a weak character becomes really strong because a new playstyle gets invented, or, you know, these things happen. And I just think, like, again, about the Rainbow Six Siege thing, these games don't start off perfect. Did Gears 4 start off perfect? No. Was it a good game at the end of it? Yeah, I'd say it was a pretty decent game at the end of it. And it just feels like it's everybody's first time experiencing a broken game. And we just need to maybe just chill out a little bit. If you're not enjoying it, don't play it. If you are enjoying it, keep playing it and giving the feedback. And now I'm going to listen and I'm going to chop up all of the clips. And yeah, that's all I've got to say. I'm in a bit of a different mood today. Apologies, I guess, if you're looking for the Z that gives commentary and everything, but sometimes I just sit here and I think I feel like a little bit distant from part of the community sometimes. I feel like we're getting arguments. You know, an example of an argument we recently had. I wouldn't say argument. It was just a discussion. There was no argumentation. Is that even a word? I'm losing the will to speak right now. An example, you know, I had a chat with this person called Chase or someone. He said, you know, he was tweeting all night about how he hopes the people get fired, they're useless, they're morons. And I was just like, what? Because they listened to the feedback and the gib range got changed ever so slightly, everyone in the team should be fired? This is the same person that said he loves Gears 4. Well, the same people helped build Gears 4, so they can't be that bad. I do feel like I'm becoming the Arctic of this Gears of War generation. Arctic was a Gears 2 player who seemed to seemingly defend the devs. And I used to get really frustrated because I'd be like, wow, you're defending the devs. How can you defend the Gears 2 devs? It's so broken, my shotgun's shooting the floor. I'm not defending the devs. I'm just trying to be damn reasonable that they're not evil human beings trying to ruin the game. It will get worked on. Give the feedback, it'll get worked on. You know, I just feel like it gets to a point where eventually after talking to someone like this, they'll say they don't care, the developers don't care about you or the player base. Well, objectively, the the devs have messaged me privately, and they do like my feedback. I'm not saying they like it in the sense of my feedback is correct. That's not what I'm saying. They don't wait for my feedback and patch the game around me. No, they just are interested on my take. It doesn't always get listened to. I'd like aim assist to be removed, but it seemingly won't. I'd like the adhesion to go. There are loads of things that we disagree on, but I try to give my feedback in a fair way. I haven't been conditioned to accept mediocrity. Me saying, you know, give the game a bit of time, doesn't mean I've accepted mediocrity at all. Eventually, after I read some of his tweets, after about 10 tweets, it said, you know, oh, you know, I feel like the rifles should be reduced in overall power to allow shotgun battles to happen more frequently because that's what I enjoy. And I'm like, that's so much better feedback than saying fire all the dev team, because that doesn't help anybody. So yeah, maybe I'm Arctic from Gears 2, Arctic VBI. Maybe I'm a TC apologist. Maybe I don't know what I am, but I will say I don't enjoy the Gears 5 ranking system. I don't enjoy the matchmaking system. I don't enjoy the magnetism online. I don't enjoy the strength of the rifles. But I can objectively see that the game has improved and they're listening. So all I can say is I'm going to wait for Operation 3 and then see what happens. So that's all it is really. Maybe it's a different video.